Hi guys, I'm Sam.
I'm Tony.
And we are your virtual best friends. And so, as you saw in the last episode, today we're going to be talking about Tom Holland returning to the MCU. It's probably been a few weeks since this info, but it's been around now for, a couple days now?
Yeah.
Thus far?
Yeah. And it's exciting.
Yeah, exciting. We were really worried about, what that meant.
Screw Disney and Sony for making us, hurt over that.
I guess the biggest thing is, do you think that was, a fake thing? Like, they just did it to drum up some kind of noise for Spider-Man? Or do you think it was a legit business thing? I
think it was a legit business thing, because it's only one more Spider-Man movie and then one more MCU appearance with Spider-Man. Another Spider-Man appearance in another MCU movie, which is probably going to be a Secret Wars thing or a Avengers 5 or maybe Fantastic Four.
And to be clear, just because those are the only two slated doesn't mean that the contract won't be redone again. Yeah, so just as of right now, it's the only two that are slated, but that doesn't mean that after that it's gone. Yeah, they'll probably renegotiate at that point.
In 2 years, I think it's going to be that they're going to renegotiate and put us through this emotional turmoil.
I think they're probably... Disney needed to learn that they're not untouchable, and I think Sony needed to learn that we are not on their side.
Yeah, because that's my thing. It's maybe Disney asked for too much, but Sony's they need Disney because Spider-Man, I think right now, is the most popular he's ever been. Yeah, maybe it's because he's in the bigger MCU, but
I'll say it's because MCU. I would think. And that's why it was so scary at first, was because we just got Far From Home, which I think was an amazing film.
It's my favorite Spider-Man movie.
The perfect way to cap off the Infinity Saga as a whole. Mm-hmm. I just thought it was a perfect ending, and it was a passing of the torch to Tom Holland and Spider-Man. I think to Tom Holland from Robert Downey Jr. And to Spider-Man from Iron Man. I think he's going to be... The whole movie was set up to make him the new main hero, which I don't know if that
worked pretty well.
It did. I'm excited to see him, and of course we got J. Jonah Jameson, and regardless, it was an amazing film, and I think that's why we were so scared that he could be taken away over to the Sonyverse, because they're making a Venom. Did you ever see Venom?
Nope.
It wasn't good.
I bet it wasn't.
Venom sucked, but it made a shit ton of money, so they're obviously going to make a part 2, which I think they're working on now with Carnage and all that.
Yeah, I have more faith in it because Serkis is directing. But
he hasn't directed anything, though. He
directed that Jungle Book spin-off thing, but that was it ended up going to Netflix, and faith in it.
I love him wholeheartedly. I don't know what his directing abilities are. Yeah. Hopefully, he obviously does know mocap, so maybe he can get more direction that way to maybe to Cirque or to Hardy. Well, Hardy was fine though. I think he was the only good part of the movie. Anyway, so I guess the whole thinking was that now Tom Holland's Spider-Man will be integrated into his own universe, and I was kind of becoming okay with that. Only because it kind of felt like to me that they were going to take on kind of the Spider-Man 90s cartoon show, which I liked a lot. And I thought that built a very, I think that pre-MCU, that built a very good Spider-Man universe. Or almost even like the video game that came out, was it last year? Yeah, last year. That it was, even though it's set up in a bigger universe, it only here in it was Spider-Man and his villains. So I was becoming more okay with that, with the thought of, well, maybe Tom Holland will have to, he'll be the figurehead of his own universe. Yeah. But with this news, I'm very glad he's being brought back.
But the thing with that is that they were if he was gonna be in his own universe, it was gonna be Tom Holland. But it's also that same kind of contract that he's on to go back to Sony is the same one Marissa Tomei is on. So it's like, well, if it was just Tom Holland coming back and they recasted everyone around him, fine. But it's also Marissa Tomei, so it's like, there's two MCU characters.
Yeah, I figured, and Mary Jane and all of his classmates. I figured whoever was in the MCU movies with him would be coming over. Obviously, I thought that was kind of like it would be clunky. Maybe we're moving to Queens, or I don't know, something dumb like that, or I can't be an Avenger, guys, or whatever. But
he just has to forget everything that happened.
But I think this now opens up the door. it kind of made me a little happy because it did kind of remind me back of like the Maguire movies, because like when it was just him in his own city, which it kind of again reminded me of the animated series. Yeah. So I was kind of happy for that, but I think now we can be more excited for the possibility of there being a Secret War event, like as you said, which I think would be that would if he was at the top now, I think him kind of being the figurehead for Secret Wars will just put him up to the level of Iron Man.
Yeah, I don't know that they could really call it Secret Wars though, because what's secret about it now? Everybody knows his identity. Yeah, everybody knows everybody's identity at this point. So, but yeah, because I just love the way Far From Home left off, and as soon as that movie ended, I was like, the contract is up. I really hope that like next week they're gonna announce that it was renewed.
Yeah, well, and also when they did the Comic-Con panel, there was no Spider-Man on there. Yeah, that's what I was like. I was kind of scared, like, where the fuck is he at?
I was like, because they went like 2020, cool, 2021, okay, and then they didn't go past 2022, and then they said other films we didn't get to talk about that'll be part of Phase 4 or 5: Fantastic Four, Captain Marvel 2, Black Panther 2, what's the last one? Blade. Yeah. And then I was like, where the fuck is Spider-Man?
We're getting it. It's been confirmed it's going to be 2021, correct?
Yeah.
So I think we're getting four Marvel films in 2021, right? I don't remember exactly which ones, but we're getting 4, and one of them will be Spider-Man. Yeah. Welcome Home or something like that. Yeah. So I'm very happy for that. Even though I was kind of excited, no, I wasn't excited, but even though I was more okay with there being a Spider-Man verse, I am very relieved that he's back in it. Yeah. So, I guess we can hypothesize what that'll be for next. As it ended, spoilers for Far From Home. Why the fuck haven't we seen it yet? Mysterio is. Do you think he's dead?
Yeah.
I think he's dead too. But everyone's like, oh, he didn't say he's dead. He said all illusions are off. I think he's dead.
That would be such a cop out. Like that would be the worst. That would be the worst fake Marvel death to me.
However, all of his comrades are still around, so they can maybe be something. Who knows? What I think the biggest question is, I was at the very end of credits. J.K. Simmons is brought back and is shown. He reveals that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Yeah. So where can that go from now? Because I feel like since Iron Man 1, when he says I am Iron Man, that like secret identities haven't really fucking mattered. Like no one gives it. Everyone knows who everyone is. Yeah. And I actually really, really like that. It isn't so much like the Batman scenario where it's like I need an identity. And I feel like because maybe Spider-Man is in he is a teenager, he's still in high school, that might be more of a precarious situation for him. Yeah. Also, of course, the way he's shown as a villain in it. And I guess my question is, do you think that the world will react the way J. Jonah wants, that they'll see him as a menace? Or do you think they'll be like, yeah, but we can obviously see that he was helping Iron Man and Iron Man left him, or Iron Man trusted him? Like, do you think, how much influence do you think J. Jonah has in this scenario?
There are people that think that was just a cameo just for that movie, and you'll hear things about him if there are more Spider-Man movies, but you won't really see him again. I hope that's not the case.
Yeah, I feel that'd be kind of a waste.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like I think it's gonna be more like, because we haven't really in the MCU, at least with Spider-Man, we haven't really seen how people in New York react to him specifically.
Yeah, which is why I love at the end of Far From Home, he's actually swinging in New York, which is something I've been waiting for since the fucking beginning.
Yeah, and nobody's like yelling at him positively or negatively.
I'm swinging here. Yeah. I really
it's not. It's good because when people react, they react to the Avengers, like all of the heroes, and it's like no one's really reacted like in the Raimi and the Mark Webb movies. Everybody's like, "Hey, Spider-Man, hey,
yeah, do a flip." Yeah, like no one.
That was the one. In
I like how like no, all the Avengers aren't all in the same terms of popularity. As we saw in Endgame with Ant-Man, he's like, "Hey, I'm Ant-Man, want a picture?" Like, that was funny. And I think that Spider-Man is at that same level. Like, remember the video that he had on YouTube, which like. Heroes are fucking a dime a dozen now. So I did like that he isn't at that level yet in terms of the public eye. So I don't think it really matters so much that his identity's out now, because it wasn't such a hidden thing for. You know, I mean, it was in Far From Home, like, oh, MJ knows and all that, but like it wasn't a key point that he needs to keep it secret. You know?
Yeah, it's like once MJ knew, it's like, well, the two people, me, Ned and MJ, the two people I care about the most, they know.
Yeah.
And
but the thing is like Adrian Toomes knew.
Yeah. Also, Aunt May knows.
Oh so, yeah. So
it's, you know.
I guess the only real like enemy he'll have is maybe Matthew. Is it Matthew Gargan, Scorpion? Because he's the one who wants Matt to kill at the end credit of Homecoming.
Yeah.
He wants his vengeance on him. Which could maybe be setting up a Sinister Six, which would be pretty cool. Although I think it might be a little bit too early for that. I'd like to see maybe a Doc Ock or another big villain before we get into that. I think Spider-Man needs to be a bigger hero before we get an organization against him like the Sinister Six.
Yeah, because I think a Sinister Six movie in the MCU universe would work a lot better than whatever the fuck Mark Webb was trying to do.
Yeah,
with literally showing us 6 doors.
But I also feel like that is also a very Avengers level threat though. So if it is a Sinister Six, it might be hard to. Like, the dumbest thing about the Dark World movie is that the world is ending and it's just Thor. Like, where the fuck is Iron Man?
Yeah.
And it may be explained in a book, comic book, but like, or the Triskelion, like, where the fuck is Iron Man? You know?
Yeah.
So it might be if we're waiting for Spider-Man to be a bigger hero for that Sinister Six movie, you're gonna need other people in there as well, and it's like that might muddle down of what. That might take away the impact of it being Peter's villains. You know what I mean? Yeah. It'll seem more like a new Avengers threat.
That's one of the criticisms that people have with Spider-Man is that all of his villains are just people that Tony pissed off.
Which I think is awesome. Yeah, I think that plays into the whole sins of the father onto the son, which it's kind of. I mean, the MCU has just been a series of daddy issues in the first place. Yeah, so
and because somebody made a joke of like, oh, the next villain is gonna be, and then they named somebody from the comics, and it's because Tony cut him off in traffic one time, and I was like, well, yeah, that would make somebody petty enough to go after his kid.
Yeah.
But
well, I guess another to move back to a hypothesis. Who do you think the villain will be in the next movie? Do you think it'll be an already established villain, or do you think we'll bring in someone new?
Because they didn't. I know they already announced the Spider-Man 3 release date, but they haven't said maybe his appearance film could come before Spider-Man 3.
Oh, that's true. I figured it would be.
And they're just keeping it secret for now, and maybe
Secret Wars.
Stop. And then maybe the villain, whatever movie that is, maybe that carries on to Spider-Man 3. But right now, I don't.
That'd be really weird to have. I mean, not the thing that couldn't happen. It'd be weird to have set up the villain in one movie and have the carry over to be the main villain. I don't know. Saying it doesn't sound weird, but I think that'd be really weird if it isn't for the whole movie.
I don't think it's gonna be Doc Ock or Green Goblin. I think it's gonna be someone smaller than that. But
I saw the thing that people want Tobey Maguire to play Doc Ock, which I think would be fucking awesome.
I don't like that.
I think it'd be really cool.
I think seeing Tobey Maguire's face next to Tom Holland's Spider-Man, it's too on the nose. Like, hey, you love Tobey Maguire. Remember Tobey Maguire?
It's like, well, they're also pushing for them to make a Spider-Man 4 in the vein of the Spider-Verse, like make it animated with Tobey Maguire, which I would be for as well. That's, I mean, I could go without it, but I think it'd be really cool if they did do it.
If they were gonna do a Spider-Man 4, just do a Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire.
That'd be so confusing.
I know, but that if of all the comic book movies,
he can't because of his back. I mean, it's fucking the age of CGI.
Yeah,
just do a body scan and then they'll make a movie without him.
But of all the comic book movies that I've wanted, even though I know I love the MCU, I love Tom Holland Spider-Man, but I would love to see a Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire.
I would too, but I think the whole thing was that Sam Raimi was in talks to do it with the Sony animation team. I believe I It was like, I think it was a small thing, but that was a whole like theory on it. Like, oh, they'll do Spider-Man 4, and it'll take place because obviously there's been like already 10 plus years. Yeah, it's been like fucking 12 years since Spider-Man 3, and they want to do it kind of soon after Spider-Man 3, so that basically they'd have to do animation because he's already older now. Well, they all are.
They can't do it now.
Yeah, that's what I think the only reason they want to do it. I mean, unless you want to have fucking smooth face the whole time.
Yeah, because they don't.
What's Barf doing here?
Yeah, they're not gonna want to do the Tarkin and Leia thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
CGI his face the whole movie.
But I think regardless to say, we're very excited that he's back
Yes.
in the in back home with us.
Yes.
Welcome back home, Tom Holland.
Where you belong.
Do you think they'll continue to make him such a big prevalent hero, or do you think he'll kind of take more of a backseat to say Captain Marvel or Black Panther?
I feel like.
I think Disney knows now, like, oh, we don't have a whole, like, we're borrowing him. We can't
Yeah,
play with him as we want.
I think before they made the ridiculous deal that didn't go through, I think they were like, we're gonna put him in more movies, and he's gonna at least finish out the second saga, whatever that's gonna be called. They wanted him
to be the new poster boy without having his rights.
Yeah.
Own his rights,
yeah.
Which is a very tough thing to do, as we saw.
Yeah, but now that it's only guaranteed one, and we'll call it a half a film for his appearance, that it's only guaranteed for 1.5 films. I don't know if they're gonna dig as deep with his story as they originally wanted to, which sucks.
They set him up to be the Spider-Man from the comics, which is the I'm gonna use some excellent terms, Omega level hero. Whereas now they're kind of gonna back down and be like, oh well, we'll continue the story, but we're not gonna have him in the front row if we want it. I think they're going to try to use someone that they own, such as Black Panther, or maybe even Falcon, Captain America, or something like that. Yeah. I feel like
thanks Sony for that.
Yeah, exactly. But dude, like, I can't blame them. It's a business. They're gonna make as much money as they can with it.
Yeah.
And they don't give a shit about the love of it. They just want the money.
Yeah, because that Spider-Man 3 is gonna make $1 billion.
And like, you have to think of the space of Sony. They fucking killed it with Spider-Verse, and Venom sold really well. Yeah. I think that's why they got so ballsy of like, well, fuck you, we don't want to do that deal. We'll do our deal, or fuck you, go home.
Yeah.
I think that's why they got so ballsy.
Which I don't understand, because it's like, yeah, we just made Spider-Verse. Everybody loved it. Yeah, we just made Venom. Maybe not everybody loved it, but it was successful. Yeah, but you haven't touched Tom Holland yet.
But the thing is, the investors or the higher ups, they don't care. They see money, they see dollar sign attributed to product.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that they're making money, but I'm sure the talks of like, oh, we can make more money if we cut the deal off with them, not realizing that Feige was the reason they're making so much money in the first place. It was so successful.
Yeah, I think that they do care about people's like opinions of the film, because Spider-Verse didn't make that much money. But they know that everybody loves
it won a fucking Academy Award, which I think means nothing, but it's to them, I'm sure it's like, oh, like, we did a good job.
Yeah.
I thought Spider-Verse did like pretty well at the box office. So.
I heard it didn't do as good as it should have, but I guess no movie.
I mean, it probably didn't. Regardless, I think it's just kind of right now we're kind of in an unweary or a very kind of leery time of Marvel, because we haven't had shit after the Infinity Saga, so we don't know what comes next.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to do kind of in between our segments, the theory for Black Widow is that I guess you know how they recorded that whole bit with Tony being at the Soul Realm, we're talking to Morgan.
Yeah.
I think the whole theory was that they're actually gonna change that and put that as a post-credit scene for Black Widow, and basically him bargaining with the Celestials to get her soul back, or basically bring her back to the MCU, which I don't mind. I think that might be that will kind of not ruin, but it'll lessen her character arc throughout the whole series, honestly. I wouldn't be opposed to it, because I love Scarlett Johansson.
All we know for sure is that this movie takes place after Civil War.
Does it really?
Yeah.
I thought it was in the early 2000s.
It's between Civil War and Infinity War.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah, and Robert Downey Jr.
And
is supposed to make a cameo.
And we're not seeing Chris Evans?
No. Which now thinking about it, it's kind of weird.
That's me weird to kind of because I figured they were together the whole fucking time.
Yeah, because when we see them in Infinity War, they're together.
Yeah,
like, that's
Are we gonna get any Falcon?
I don't know, but I guess.
Well, because they're in Budapest, aren't they? So aren't they gonna? I thought they were gonna kind of. It may go back and forth in terms of timeline, but it'll be weird if they don't have any Chris Evans or Sam.
Now that
Anthony Mackie. That's weird. So I don't. I'll fact check you on that. I'm not sure that's true.
I heard Civil War was mentioned. Maybe it's before Civil War, but maybe
I was under the assumption that it was the whole Budapest mission.
No, because Budapest they would have had to have Jeremy Renner. He's not in it.
He isn't in it?
No.
What the fuck are they doing with Black Widow?
Black Widow? I don't exactly.
We gotta do more research on this. What the fuck are they doing?
Jeremy Renner's doing the Hawkeye series for Disney Plus, but he's not gonna be in Black Widow.
It's gonna be ScarJo T-posing the whole time.
Yeah, just that's it.
In a tank with fucking Taskmaster who looks like a fucking Crisis guy. But yeah, so I mean, I think that I forgot what the fuck my point was, but yeah, that's kind of I think what theories that whole end credit scene was gonna be. What was my point? I was relating that to Spider-Man some way, but yeah. So I guess that's to round out that thought. We're excited. So we'll keep you posted on what if anything else comes about. I guess we're gonna take a little break to or do you want to get right into our next topic?
I guess I'm ready for it.
All right, awesome. If you need to take a break, take a break now because we're now getting to our next topic. So the past couple. Actually, all our podcasts besides the first one, we talk about Star Wars. So we wanted to do we wanted to break it up and change the pace of that by doing Marvel. And back to Star Wars.
Yes, for the next 8 podcasts.
Yeah, as you saw in the last podcast, we kind of went into our theories for Ewan McGregor returning as Obi-Wan for his own series on Disney Plus.
And they do have a director for the series now. It's going to be I'm forgetting her name, but she's a Asian American woman, and she's doing a couple of
yes, I heard about that.
Deborah Chow, I think.
I don't remember her name, but I remember.
I know her first name is Deborah.
But she did something really impressive too.
Yeah, she did a couple episodes of Jessica Jones. And,
that's right. Yeah.
But she's done a couple episodes for The Mandalorian as well.
They
loved what she did with Mandalorian. Mm-hmm. So they put her on, and right now the rumor is it's going to be only 6 to 8 episodes. But she's going to do all of it.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, because I don't think you need much more than one season of
are you caught up on Rebels?
Yeah.
Because I know that Obi-Wan fights Darth Maul, and does he kill him in the Rebels?
Yep.
So I'm assuming it's going to pick up maybe a couple years past Revenge of the Sith. Maybe, I don't know about 10, but maybe like 5 or 6 years after Revenge of the Sith.
You don't know the timeline?
No, was it revealed?
I told you about it, right? 8 years after Revenge of the Sith, 11 before A New Hope.
Is it really? I don't remember reading that. Okay, awesome. So I'm assuming it's probably gonna butt up against when he's shown in Rebels. I'm assuming. I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah, I don't know that it's gonna go all the way to that, but
I'm not familiar with Rebels. Yeah. I wanted to watch Clone Wars before I watched Rebels, and I'm not caught up on Clone Wars.
Yeah, because the Clone Wars.
No, there's only one Clone Wars, and that's the one that looks like Dexter's Laboratory.
No, Samurai Jack has nothing to do with Star Wars. But a lot of people want to say, oh, they have to put Darth Maul and redo the fight or whatever, and you can't. As much as we want to see Ray Park versus Ewan McGregor one more time, like you can't break canon. Like even I, as someone who doesn't like the majority of Rebels,
I'd be willing to oversee Rebels to see Ray Park fucking versus
Ewan McGregor.
I'd be more than willing to be like, well, so fucking who cares?
But I just there was so much fuck ups with Legends. Like I just want to keep canon as it can be, and it's just like if
I don't care. Dude.
Yeah, I know.
If they're like, hey, like Rebels is also a Legends thing, or that's part. But I'd be more than willing to forego that.
I would too.
Granted, I've not seen any Rebels, so I can't. I'm not as invested in Rebels as I am in this. However, I said in the last podcast, the thing I'm really excited for is to see Ewan or Obi-Wan's reaction to him finding out that Anakin isn't dead.
That's gonna be the.
I'm sure that'll be the crux of the show.
I think that's gonna. I don't know if it's gonna happen the first episode.
I don't think
probably
so
like
either.
3rd or 4th episode, but
I think like because correct me if I'm wrong. Obi-Wan doesn't know that Darth Vader. He only calls him Anakin. He never hears the word Vader. Never hears the name Vader.
No, yeah, he does. Yoda says,
"Oh, that's right."
Consumed by Darth Vader.
That's right.
But
so
he never calls him Vader.
He knows the name Vader then.
Yeah, but
so it isn't like he sees this threat rise and like, oh, who's this Vader guy, and then only to find out that's fucking Anakin.
Yeah,
because in Legends, I think it was a comic or a book. He's living on Mos Eisley or around Mos Eisley, and he finds out, and he basically like has a full blown panic attack. Which I as a kid I always assumed like, oh, he knows he didn't kill him, which is like, why the fuck didn't he?
Yeah.
I think we're to assume that he leaves Mustafar thinking this fucking guy's dead.
Yeah, that's, and then he's gonna find out that he's alive, and I think no matter anybody's opinions on Disney Star Wars and everything that's happened since the takeover by Disney, I think when that episode drops and that moment happens and Ewan McGregor, like his just seeing his face, I think all Star Wars fans are going to be watching that episode that night, and we're all going to, in like as cheesy as it sounds, the Force is going to take over. We're all going to cry. Like,
I'm ready to weep.
I just like that's.
I forgot to tell you, I teared up for It Part 2. I forgot to tell you that part.
What's that?
It number 2, the movie. I teared up for it, and I never teared up. I've only ever teared up for Endgame, and now It number 2.
There are movies that exist that aren't Star Wars.
Apparently.
Whatever.
That was the side point. I forgot to tell you. I teared up. I did tear up. Okay, continue. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, but
how much is Disney Plus going to be? It's pretty cheap, right?
$6.99 at launch.
And don't they have like a yearly plan as well? Do you need some water?
The yearly plan is like, I think 60.
Because I was gonna just like get the free trial and watch everything. I'm like, oh, but they're staggering their also they're not doing the Netflix thing where they put it all out at once. They're gonna do the
they're gonna drop episode by episode. Yeah,
which fuck that shit because it's gonna suck. But I don't know, it's kind of I'm all for it. I think we're definitely gonna get Disney Plus, or maybe we're gonna I don't know if you want to share one for the channel or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna get it.
I'm definitely getting it too.
Yeah.
We should just get one and we'll watch it together because I think it's already what we're gonna do anyway.
Probably. It's gonna be a main thing on the channel soon anyway.
And I guess in is there anything in canon now that says what Obi-Wan does during his time on Tatooine besides Rebels, or even in Rebels? What does he do in Rebels besides just be there watching Luke?
I think that I don't know if it's an Obi-Wan comic or just the main Star Wars comic, but they had him they showed him doing stuff on Tatooine. They showed Owen yelling at him like, you got my stepbrother killed, you're not gonna have my nephew killed too, and he's like slams a door in his face, and it's like, well, I don't know if
they resent him then.
Yeah, I don't know if Owen and Beru are gonna be in the show. Probably not, because they kind of already went through that in the comics. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I think mostly it's just him like fighting off Tusken Raiders.
I think they'll probably have to be. Well, I mean, yeah, because like the way Obi-Wan was written was that he kind of didn't everything important that happens to him on Tatooine happens in the beginning of A New Hope. I think like of him explaining to Luke who he was and how he knew his father and all that. So like,
but
it doesn't leave much wiggle room for him to do shit. Like he pretty much has to be in Tatooine the whole time and not leave that place. And as we know, it's a shit planet. There's not much that goes on there. Yeah, besides the huts and whatnot. But even I doubt Obi-Wan knows much about Jabba the Hutt.
It's been established that at least in I don't know about Legends, but in canon that Luke and Obi-Wan have crossed paths before. So that's why. Yeah. That's why in A New Hope
he knows him as Ben Kenobi's like Obi-Wan. I'm working with Ben Kenobi. Like he's familiar with him.
Yeah.
But I think he sees him more as like an old hermit bum, like.
Yeah.
And not so much as like a friend, but more like, oh yeah, that one, like our weird neighbor, But there isn't really. I just don't. Besides that one point of him realizing that Anakin isn't dead, I don't know what much else they could do. Because I don't mean Jedi are outlawed, so he can't be going around freedom fighting.
Yeah, there's people that think he's gonna confront Vader again, just because I don't know how to feel about this. This is another thing from Christian Harloff that he thinks that there's room for Vader to be in it, at least in 1 or 2 episodes, because in Return of the Jedi, Obi-Wan once thought as you do. And when did he think that?
Oh, yeah,
because
he went to
Mustafar with the intention to kill him.
That could be... What was the... Because that wouldn't contradict the dialogue from A New Hope, would it?
Which dialogue?
Of him... when they're fighting.
No, because I think that was his point.
If they fight again, that wouldn't contradict anything, would it? Or if they meet again, at least.
I think it does, but because
how would it contradict if they meet again as
okay,
older?
so Obi-Wan once thought as you do, so that's like, oh well, then he did try to get him back again, but then failed and realized he's more machine now than man.
I think that was Jeremy John said that. Not Harloff. I mean, he might have as well. Don't know what just happened. Give us 1 second. Okay, we're back. I'm not sure if that was recording or not, but we'll fix it in post, hopefully.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think back to would Obi-Wan meeting Vader contradict anything in current canon?
So here's the thing: it's Obi-Wan once thought as you do. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, well, Obi-Wan went to try to get him back again, realized he failed, and that's why in Return of the Jedi he says he's more machine now than man, because he tried one more time. But in A New Hope he says, when I left you, I was but the learner. I assume that's Mustafar.
He's a Padawan still.
Yeah, I assume that's Mustafar. But yeah. I mean, Vader was still learning after Revenge of the Sith.
I mean, I guess it could mean when I left you, I was but the learner in terms
that doesn't just...
When I left the Force or when I left the good side, I was only your pupil, but now...
Yeah, because that doesn't have to necessarily mean that he was the learner of Obi-Wan. He could just be saying, I was the learner of the dark side.
Well, I take that more as when I left the good side.
Yeah.
Not as so much when I left you personally, but when I left the light, I was your learner, but now I'm the master of the dark. I don't think that necessarily means that he's learning. I mean, it could.
Yeah, I think for people like us, we'll get it, but I think for like the casual fans, they're not gonna know the dialogue like we do. Yeah. Like Obi-Wan once thought as you do. They're not gonna know that because that's something that I don't know how, but it just slips over their heads, and it's like for us that would work for us, but I think for the general audience, they're just because of that they're not gonna do it because Disney Plus they want this. Bob Iger wants this to be like his thing that he leaves behind at Disney.
Do you think Bitch Boy will be in it? Anakin, okay, actor's name. Why am I blanking?
Did you just call Hayden Christensen Bitch Boy?
Yeah, you think Hayden Christensen will be in it?
First of all, fuck you, and I mean I don't know. Like, I think the only way to have him in it is to have like a moment where they're fighting and then have his mask cracked. But they did that in Rebels already with Ahsoka. So I don't, and they did that with Matt Lanter, who did Anakin in the Clone Wars. So I don't know that they want to do that again.
Also, it's been 8 years, so I imagine he's more of that white head than he is.
Yeah, because I don't think he'll be in it. It would be nice to maybe they'll have him in a, because I don't know if there's no record of this. I don't know if they did a body cast of Hayden Christensen for when he's in the tank in Rogue One.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they could put him in that, but and have him like look up or something.
Well, because he was in the Vader suit at the end of Revenge of the Sith. That was Hayden Christensen acting in the Vader costume.
Yeah.
So it isn't out of the question for him to be brought back as Vader in this. Although the question would be why, if you're not seeing his face, you know.
Yeah, but you know what? The other thing that complicates him being an Obi-Wan is that, like, he tells Tarkin Obi-Wan is here, or Kenobi's here, or whatever he says, and then Tarkin said, surely he must be dead by now, and Vader doesn't react to it like, no, I just saw him a few years back. It's like, and I know it would be 11 years from when they meet again to A New Hope, but I feel like he knows that he didn't kill him if he's in Obi-Wan, he's gonna know he didn't kill him because he gets away. But I don't know that he would just be surprised that he's back, because then he said, a presence I have not felt since when?
Yeah.
Since Mustafar, since the Obi-Wan series, but I don't know.
Well, another thought that just popped in mind is him learning to become a Force ghost and talking to Qui-Gon. That just popped in mind right now.
Yeah, because
which would be very interesting. If we do you think we'll maybe get Liam Neeson back? I wouldn't be opposed to that.
I would love that very much. And at first I was like, well, I'm pretty sure that Liam Neeson was Qui-Gon was only able to do it through voice.
Yeah.
But then in the Clone Wars, he does come back as a Force ghost to Obi-Wan.
Oh, does he really?
Obi-Wan strikes out his lightsaber. He's like, "Master, how are you here?" And I don't remember the context of that episode, but he does come back as a Force ghost as we know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he learns that, and then he's in the scene where Yoda's meditating on Polis Massa right before Obi-Wan comes back with Padme, and Bail Organa is like, Master Yoda, Obi-Wan has made contact. That scene is originally supposed to have Qui-Gon's voice. It's in the deleted scenes of Avengers, but it's not Liam Neeson talking.
Yeah.
But,
I so far what we can gather is that he will learn in the series to be a Force ghost.
Yeah. Or he'll start to learn that.
Do you think that will kind of bear any more insight on what it means on what the Force means?
I hope so. I mean, it would make sense, because then...
Do you think so? Do you think the show will expand on anything besides just showing what Obi-Wan? Do you think it'll leave any bigger questions of, what does the Force mean, kind of in the vein of Rian Johnson? Or do you think do you think the show will just be focusing on the events of Obi-Wan and not put any more big, concepts into play?
I don't think it needs to. I don't know if I wanted to, because I'm just so much more interested in what Obi-Wan's doing, because I love Ewan McGregor. I love Obi-Wan. But I don't think they want to leave too many things open, because then it's like, now that this was just a setup for another series somewhere else, and it's like, what? Just keep it about Obi-Wan. Mm-hmm. At least this show. Do whatever you want with Mandalorian, Cassian, and whatever comes next, but Obi-Wan, just leave it Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I like this show to be in its own closed circle. I don't want it to tie into Mandalorian. I don't want it to tie into the Cassian series. I want it to just be its own thing. Which I believe is probably what they're saying over at Disney too. Is that
the only things it needs to tie into are Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, and even then vaguely, because it's
8 years
in the middle.
Between. Yeah. So what else could it be doing over there? Learning how to scream like a bantha to scare off Jawas.
Yeah. Can you imagine if because in the original, the special edition, and the 2004 or 2011 special edition, they're three different different crate. They're actually crate.
He learns all three of them.
Yeah, he does all three of the ones that we know, and then he chooses the shitty one.
Yeah.
He chooses the shitty one that we know now as canon. It's like, that'd be funny.
I guess another question is, I guess, not for us, but do you think the show can help redeem some of the prequel stuff? In terms of, the best part of the prequels though is arguably Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor.
I think that's the thing, that even people that hate the prequels are excited about this.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So it isn't like they're gonna fix fucking Sebulba. They're
because the other thing I thought of is I brought this up like back in 2017 when that first rumor came out that they were doing the movie. We're gonna see Ewan McGregor in Alec Guinness's Obi-Wan's hut.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited for that.
Maybe we'll see him look at the Skywalker lightsaber. Maybe you'll see Qui-Gon's lightsaber kind of buried, like half shown. It's like, that's Qui-Gon's lightsaber. But that's going to be exciting.
Theory, the kyber crystal that Luke uses. Did somebody already say that?
No.
Somebody say, is that already a theory?
Nope. It's a theory, but
that'd be cool though. That'd be
not
cool.
canon. So no.
That'd be cool though.
I don't know.
That'd be cool though.
No.
That'd be cool though.
No.
That'd be cool though.
Stop.
The mall killer.
No, I'd rather Luke went to.
I know.
To get his own, but.
Do you think we'll see any? Well, to finish that thought, I think you're focused on is that I think this will probably be the perfect merger of the prequels and the original series in terms of bringing what was best of the prequels to what we know that's solid in the originals. I think it'll be a better merger of Rogue One. It'll be better than that in terms of taking something that was familiar that wasn't. Yeah,
and that'll at least maybe pull the bridge closer to being connected between the prequels.
Because even now, like if you just watch the prequels and the original trilogy, they're so fucking disconnected. Like, just so thematically, like I don't know if you feel that too, but like it just
I just because I grew up with them all at the same time.
Even when I did too, I like even as kids, like take away
the look of them.
Take away lightsabers, they're a different series. In a way, I feel like this movie will finally do what Abrams and what who the fuck directed Rogue One?
Gareth Edwards.
Yeah, Gareth Edwards. I think this will be perfectly what they were hinting at doing, which is merging them.
But I think this will close the gap between prequel lovers and original trilogy lovers. It'll close it a lot more than it ever has. The only problem is it doesn't do anything for those two groups still hating the sequel lovers.
Yeah,
which bothers me because I am a sequel. This
isn't for that. This isn't to merge all three. This is to merge those two. Yeah,
I know, but it's just. I don't know. Just
that's a whole other can of worms that they're not gonna be able to solve for another fucking 10 years.
Yeah, probably.
Do you think we'll see any characters returning other than Ewan McGregor? Calling it now. I want Watto. Actually, though, I wouldn't hate that. I really wouldn't hate seeing Watto in that, because that was really what gave Anakin his childhood traumas, was being a slave to this fucking
but Obi-Wan doesn't know him. Obi-Wan doesn't know that though. I don't know.
Well, that was just Qui-Gon, huh?
Yeah,
that's right.
I mean, Obi-Wan knows he was a slave, but I don't know that he knows who or what.
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't mind seeing that and seeing maybe Watto's reaction to the monster that he helped create.
Yeah, I guess it would be cool to see Watto and be cool to see Jar Jar. I'm just kidding.
I mean, maybe even Sebulba or what was the little brown boy?
Kidster,
yeah.
Imagine.
The fuck! Why did you take me, Qui-Gon? I wouldn't have killed the fucking younglings. that wasn't Greedo, right? The little that was the little Greedo
in the
alien
deleted scene.
Yeah, that wasn't. It wasn't Greedo, was it?
They said Greedo, but I don't know about in canon now, but in Legends it was like, oh, there's a Greedo and a Greedo Jr. and because the age of somebody didn't match up, so it's like, well, but I don't think that matters.
Yeah, I don't think it should be. No, I'm pretty sure he was in the final.
What if Obi-Wan goes to
Obi-Wan Pod Racer?
No. What if Obi-Wan goes to Mos Espa and sees the Skywalker home?
Oh yeah,
that could be interesting. I don't know what he would do with it. That information, you're not really going to see anything except where Anakin built 3PO and
opening
Shmi didn't finish cooking that food. But
opening shot, I want to see the two twin sons. Yeah. Basically, the end of Revenge of the Sith. I want that to be the opening of this movie. Him walking away to,
and then skip 8 years later.
Yeah. Maybe him find a hut or so, I don't know, something like that. I would like to see it.
They would have to de-age his face for like a second, but
it's fucking Disney.
Yeah,
right. they shit out money.
Yeah, but
any other closing theories on what we might see? I honestly would really like to see Watto. Because if this show does, I keep wanting to call it movie. If this show does what it's set out to do, which is to take the good qualities of the prequels and kind of merge that into the original trilogy, I think it would be justifiable to see Watto and the monster he made. Yeah. Kind of how like they people were trying to redeem Jar Jar. I think this might, even though it was dumb.
I don't think anybody really, because I mean, everybody knows what Jar Jar did because it was public. It was on the It was out in the Senate. Yeah. Like I don't think anybody who fears Vader is like, who's that green penis that
Yeah.
But like it's.
Well, okay. My hope for this movie?
It's not a movie.
It's a movie.
It's a show.
I'm gonna watch it all at once like a fucking movie.
You're not because it's not coming out.
I'll take naps. I'll take week-long naps in between. My hopes for this show is that it will take all the dumb things from the prequels, specifically Episode 1. And
you mean 2? Yeah.
No, 1 even 2.
I know.
Oh, because you don't even regard 1. And make them, like, valid. So,
yeah.
The pod racing... Well,
I'd like to see another
that part was cool.
Like, you don't need to have another whole pod race, but just walk by. And
he sees the people,
that'd be cool.
Watto, maybe take responsibility for him helping create the monster that is Darth Vader.
Yeah, but then again, it's like, but Obi-Wan doesn't know Watto.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that it could be,
I guess.
I see you're one of them Jedis with your mind tricks, or something like.
Yeah.
And like maybe he could be like,
I took little Annie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And so I murdered Annie. It's like, oh yeah. How about some death sticks?
You like the sun hat?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the Anakin. That might actually be pretty cool to see. Like his little friends and Shmi, like their legacy. If once everyone finds out that Anakin is Darth Vader, and how far along do you think the Empire will be in this? Do you think it'll be in the prime that they are in the beginning of?
I think it'll be in the prime because like people were saying, oh, you know what, Vader's gonna have a big action scene in Rogue One. He's gonna be in his absolute prime. He can't be in his absolute prime because it's like an hour before A New Hope starts.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So I think this will be like, if this were a show about Vader, this would be like the darkest we'd ever see Vader, like just chopping down.
I would like to see like maybe like that's Vader putting his fucking name out there, being like, here the fuck I am, I'm gonna enslave all of you or whatever, Yeah. That would be cool to kind of see, but that's gonna be hard to do on fucking Tatooine.
Yeah.
The little shitball planet in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's more of a Coruscant thing, like a Coruscant show.
Tatooine doesn't know shit.
Yeah, exactly. So like it'd be cool to see that, but that would be so disregarded, just so far from what we already want from Obi-Wan show, which is subtle and slow.
Slow, and character driven.
Precisely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed. Maybe I would be opposed to having a Vader show because I don't want. I don't know.
Depends on how they do it.
It would maybe see like some Imperial like troopers come down and maybe set up shop, and that's why there's sand troopers there on Tatooine to begin with.
Yeah.
Show that maybe kind of infestation, but any more than that, I feel like might be overdoing it. That being said, I would like to see Vader's rise to power. Not just his creation, but his making a goddamn name for himself.
Yeah. Out there, doing stuff.
Yeah, but that might be for another. Maybe for the Diego Luna show or something like that, or something.
Yeah.
Any other closing thoughts on the Obi-Wan show? What do you think the name's gonna be?
The name of the show?
Yeah. The Obi-Wan Chronicles. The Chronicles Obi-Wan.
The negotiations were short.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I mean,
Obi-Wan hyphen death sticks.
We would laugh if it was something like Hello There, but I don't really think.
Yeah,
I hope they don't.
It'd probably be like fuck, I don't know, Mos Eisley or.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I hope it's just not as boring as Solo, a Star Wars story.
Do we have the name for the Diego Luna show yet? Is it just called Caspian?
There's
or
Caspian.
Caspian.
That's a different book series.
What's the name?
Cassian.
Cassian. Yes.
No, there's no title for anything yet, but.
Okay.
I'm just
leave your hypothesis for the Obi-Wan series name.
Yeah, are you excited about it as we are? Because
if you're not, get the fuck off the channel. We don't want you here.
Honestly, other than the sequel trilogy, this is the most excited I've been for a Star Wars project in a long time.
Yeah, and honestly, me as well.
Yeah, because we're both such big fans of Revenge of the Sith. We were at the perfect age when that movie came out, and that was like our Star Wars for a few years. And
I loved the prequels before I ever loved the original trilogy.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I just loved them all the same, and then realized.
I mean, I watched the original trilogy, or studied them because I loved their prequels so much, because that's what caught me as a kid. I'm sure I still would have.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean that's just what I remember. I remember watching those first.
Yeah, I think I just watched them all at the same time. I don't remember.
I'm sure I did too, because my mom was a huge Star Wars fan too, so I'm sure I saw them all by the time I was fucking 2.
Yeah.
But I didn't remember them. The reason I love Star Wars is because of prequels, and I will always keep it that.
Yeah,
specifically Obi-Wan, because Obi-Wan was always my favorite. Anakin. I love Anakin too.
That's why the Phantom Menace has a special place in my heart, because that's the first one my mom ever showed me.
That's the first one I ever remember seeing too. Was Phantom Menace.
Yeah, it's crazy, because look where we are now. Like
do you think the show will take place just on Naboo? I mean, on Tatooine.
He doesn't know Star Wars. No, I don't.
Do you think? Well, because I was thinking ahead. Will we see Naboo? And maybe
we don't really know how he got to Tatooine, huh? Did Bale drop him off?
I'm assuming probably.
Or
Bale
does he have his own ship? We just don't see it in A New Hope. I don't know.
I'm assuming it was probably from Bail Organa.
Yeah, probably.
Well, how did
him or Yoda?
Well, we saw Yoda's little.
Yoda.
We saw his little escape pod dropship in the. It was a deleted scene, right? Yeah. Maybe something similar to that. Maybe it was like a little escape pod dropship that just took him alone.
Maybe.
But with little Luke though, I feel like Bail Organa would want his hands on that.
Yeah.
I guess another. We probably won't see any droids.
I think, you know what? Going back now, the most interesting thing that I think they really need to cover in the Obi-Wan series is how his
R4.
No. Is how his robes got longer for some reason.
Oh.
Because old Ben Kenobi's got these long
he does.
robes, and in the prequels they're short.
I want to see how he aged 90 years in like 10.
Yeah.
I think the obvious already is going to be Force Ghost, his inclinations of Vader, but that definitely isn't enough to cover 8 episodes. So I'm really excited to see what the fuck they do for that. Because there has to be some conflict, but there always can't be anything too big because that would kind of contradict anything going on right now.
Yeah, real quick, going back to the Hayden thing, it's they could have Hayden appear in some flashbacks.
I was thinking that too, but I feel like that, for what reason though? I feel like his story was already told.
But I mean, like I don't know if it would undercut the scene where he realizes Vader is Anakin, and maybe he just has a quick "I hate you" in his head.
Yeah.
But
I would like to see maybe bits of episode 3 and even 2.
Yeah, like at a different angle. Or
yeah, exactly. Maybe like a first person or just another perspective on his eyes or something like that.
A first person from Obi-Wan. That's what I'm saying.
That'd
be interesting. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Fighting the fucking the Jedi fighter,
or just a quick flash first person view of him cutting his arm and legs off.
Or actually, it might be even cool maybe to see because remember. At the end of it's changed now, of course, obviously, but Obi-Wan was the first Jedi to kill a Sith in like thousands of years, right?
Yeah, to defeat a Sith in combat.
That's absolutely to defeat, but before it was changed in canon to kill. Yeah. So that probably weighs heavy on him too, because I mean he thought he killed 2 at this point. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that probably weighs heavy on. How is he not the fucking everyone? Do people say that Mace Windu is the most powerful? Fuck that. Yeah. Obi-Wan's the most powerful goddamn Jedi. Luke couldn't even kill fucking 1. He killed. Well, he thought he killed 2. He defeated 2 at least.
Yeah.
And I would like to maybe see he maybe has PTSD from like maybe fighting Darth Maul. Yeah. Or I mean, obviously PTSD from having to kill basically his fucking son.
I think to sum it up, I want to see Obi-Wan go through what he's been through the same way we saw Spider-Man go through what he went through in Far From Home. Like, because I think in Far From Home they did a really, really good job of him dealing with the fact that not only was he part of this big Infinity War, he watched his father figure for the past few years die in front of him.
I'm sure Obi-Wan through the prequel just thought that he was doing his duty, not realizing that it's such a giant story that really doesn't involve him as much as he'd like, or as much as he might think it does.
Yeah.
It's about the Skywalkers, not so much about the Kenobis.
Because I want there to be a scene, maybe not as fantastical as the one in Far From Home, like when the zombie Iron Man pops up.
Oh yeah.
And how crazy that was.
What if we see him impregnate somebody and she goes, what should we name her? Rey. And then well, guys, that's been the end of our podcast. I think Tony's hanging himself now. I think with that we should start to close out. Again, very excited. And of course, we'll bring you more info once we know ourselves. And I'm sure when we know, you probably fucking know. So we will discuss more on. But yeah, I think as of right now, I'm way more excited about Obi-Wan than I am for Episode 9.
Yeah.
Than I am.
This is a great time.
I think the 2 things I'm most excited for is Obi-Wan and Mandalorian. Because I casting them, I'm excited for because I do want to see that really down and dirty, ground level, Coruscant level, scoundrel. You know, I've always loved that more than I have the the street level Star Wars and like Coruscant, like the bit in when they're chasing the bounty hunter in the bar.
You like that more than the big picture war?
I do. I've always loved that so much.
Yeah.
I think it was Knights of the Old Republic, or it was some game. I didn't play all of it, but you're like on Coruscant, I think, on that, and I love seeing that, like, very like almost like cyberpunk, dystopia, not dystopia, but like cyberpunk city. I've always loved that. So I am very excited to see it with Cassian, but I'm way more excited to see Obi-Wan and the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
because
I'm over the moon for the Mandalorian, but right now my focus obviously is Rise of Skywalker, and then I'm gonna watch the Mandalorian first day, but
when is
November 12th?
So before,
yeah,
and it'll probably end around the time we get Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, it'll probably be like halfway through the first season at that point.
No, because it was probably 8 episodes. Yeah, I think it's 10. So it'll be about halfway. You're right.
Yeah.
So we will discuss more once we know more.
Yep.
I'm Sam.
I'm Tony.
And we are your virtual best friends. Please leave in the comments if you'd like to say anything else. I know our past few podcasts we've just talked about Star Wars and Marvel, but like we were saying, like we might want to do a music podcast, like what we were into, or any movies. Like I said, I just saw It Chapter 2 and I fucking loved it. I'd love to do a podcast on that, and maybe horror in general.
Yeah, because I think I just learned that there are other movies other than Star Wars.
Weird, right?
I didn't know that was a thing, but yeah, I guess we can.
There's a movie called E.T. It's like, I mean, I guess technically this is a Star Wars movie too. It's whatever. I like Stranger Things more. But yeah, leave in the comments. That's a joke. I fucking love E.T., but opinions are opinions.
Yeah.
Leave in the comments what you want to see us talk about next. We'll put our social medias in the description. So if you want to hit us up or whatever, we're always open to take comments, concerns.
We still need to make a Twitter.
No dick pics. Yeah, I'm probably gonna finish it up today.
Yeah.
So if we have a Twitter up right now, we were having problems with our Instagram. It's that we already had an account, but I didn't make an account.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck's going on with that. So
we'll figure that out soon.
Yeah. So just you know where to find us.
Yep.
If you have any questions, comments, or concerns. No dick pics unless you're above the age of 18, or if you're in. No, never mind.
His words, not mine.
Bye guys. Thanks.
Bye.